What's up, action takers, the community of doers? I hope you're doing fine. Week 23, episode 23, 52 weeks, here we come. Now, there are 4 aspects of life that I think, and I'm convinced, if given the right attention and executed promptly, they can actually bring a drastic and very effective change in the course of your life. Which one are they? 1, disgust. 2, decision. 3, desire. And 4, resolve. Now, for context, let me just give a brief definition of each so that we look at what exactly is so important about them and how can they inform a drastic change in the course of your life if you decide to make a decision that your life will never be the same again, and you decide to take up on a path that is going to lead you to the kind of person and the kind of future that you envision to have. So disgust is a basic human emotion characterized by a strong feeling of revulsion or aversion towards something that is perceived as offensive, unpleasant, or harmful. So it's actually a negative emotion. The second one is decision. It's the process of making a choice or judgment after considering various options or factors involving selecting a course of action from multiple alternatives to achieve a desired outcome. So you have a couple of things and you choose among them depending on the objective that you want. Desire is an intense feeling of wanting or wishing for something. It is a fundamental aspect of human motivation, driving individuals to pursue goals, fulfill needs, or attain objective of attraction or value. Intense feeling. Keywords. 4, resolve refers to a firm determination or decision to do something. It represents a strong willpower to achieve a goal or overcome challenge regardless of the obstacles or the difficulties. By definition, that's what we have, just for context. Now, why are they so important, and why do I think that executing them in a prompt way, directing them towards a certain course of action, can actually change your life drastically? 1, disgust is... Before we go into that, please let me welcome you and request you to kindly subscribe to this YouTube channel so that we can continue building this community of like-minded individuals that believe in rethinking the conventional mentality of our lives and just taking inventory of what we are doing to decide what is working and what is not working, and also to bridge the gap between execution and information. So, how do we take the information and also execute effectively so that we can get the outcome that we need? So that is all about the platform. Now, disgust. Disgust is actually a negative emotion. Something that you feel that is so strong in your heart, or that is so strong within you, when something that you don't consider or when something bad happens to you. Why is this so important? There is a day that you're going to wake up and you're going to feel so disgusted about your current situation that there is nothing that is going to stop you from doing whatever is necessary for you to change your current circumstances. So, until you get to that point where you tell yourself that enough is enough, you will never change. So if you continue in a vicious cycle that you're doing things that you know are ruining your future, clearly that you understand that they are taking you in a bad direction, things that you know that are not contributing to becoming the best version of yourself, and you're continuing in that vicious cycle, and you're not taking the necessary action that you know very well you should take, and you're not taking them, it means you've not gotten to that point of disgust. And that is why disgust is so important, because that is the beginning, or that is the foundation of change. As much as change is inevitable, but it has to be inspired. And one of the most strongest aspects of life that can actually inspire change is that point of disgust. That when you get to a point that enough is enough, that I'm no longer going to be like this again. And it is a personal conscious decision that you decide. And you're so irritated with your current state by having the conviction that you can be better and you're not, and it's because of what you're doing or what you're not doing, and you decide that this is the day that things change, that you're actually going to change. That's how profound disgust is, because we say that your rock bottom is your solid foundation. It doesn't matter how much you want to change a person. A person will only change when they get to a point of enough is enough. Every time that something happens in their life and you're trying to save them and they have not gotten to that point, trust you me, they are going to go back to the same vicious cycle and the same behavior that are ruining their lives. But when the day comes, when the moment gets and they decide enough is enough, and they become irritated so much with who they are because they understand what they are capable of becoming, then that moment things take a turn around. Why? Because you must be willing to die of who you are for you to birth the who that you want to be. You have to stop doing some things for you to give room to start doing what you need to do. They can't go concurrent. One has to stop for the other to start. Now, when you get to that point of enough is enough, and you're so disgusted with who you are currently because you understand that there is a version of you that exists and is possible to achieve it, but you're not taking the necessary action, and you decide that this is the day that actually I set myself on that path, you make the decision. And that is the next aspect. You make the decision. That today I have made a decision that I'm going to make sure that my life will never be the same again. And as I was saying on decision, is a process that you choose among alternatives. So there are a couple of alternatives that you have, but you decide to choose on something that is setting you on a path towards what you want. When you make that decision, now you have the desire. You have the desire to become what you know you are capable of becoming. Yeah? The desire, the art of wanting it bad enough. Yeah, it's another aspect. That we say, how bad do you want what you say you want? Sometimes you kind of want it. You know, if you kind of want it, you don't want even to sacrifice. But if you want it bad enough, we actually say that if you want something as bad as you want to breathe, if you want to be successful as bad as you want to breathe, then you're going to be successful. What do I mean by that? That if I was to take you right now and take you to a pool, in a swimming pool, then I hold your head down inside water. At that moment when your head is underwater, what is the most important thing? What is the most important thing in the world do you want to do at that moment? It's just to breathe. You don't care about the economy, you don't care about your friends, you don't care about your parents, you don't care about your siblings or your family, I'm not saying they're not important, but at that moment they're not important. Why? Because the only thing that you want to do is to put some air in your lungs. And now, that is the proof of that concept of if you want it as bad as you want to breathe. That when you get to a point that nothing else matters apart from that, you're not disqualifying everyone and your community. Of course, they play a part. But when you get to a point that anything that is coming to stop you from doing whatever you know you need to do, you cannot tolerate, then you're going to be successful. And you have to get to that point. And also, you must want it bad enough. You have to want it in that way. Because if you want it that bad, then you not have excuses. You will be able to be resilient. You are going to be able to go past obstacles. You're not going to allow yourself to actually procrastinate on anything. And that gives you the right attitude on how you execute what you're doing. Then, the other thing that I talked about is resolve. And we said that resolve is the firm determination that you're willing to do whatever it takes for you to achieve what you want to achieve. That we say that if you're willing to do whatever it takes, you're not going to have excuses. You have made a resolution with yourself that I'm going to make this happen at all costs. Benjamin Disraeli said that nothing can resist a human will that will stake its existence on purpose. There is nothing that can stop the power of the human will. Where there is a will, there is a way. I can go on and on and on aspects that reinforce on the fact that if you're willing, you will do it. If you're willing to do what you know you need to do, then you will find all possible ways on how to do it. But if you're not willing to do it, guess what? You're going to find all excuses on why that is not possible. So this is all about perspective. It's all about perspective and attitude. You either can see how you can be able to do it, or you are going to see the excuses on how you can not be able to do it. So the choice is yours. The choice is yours. So, thank you very much for getting up to this point. I really appreciate. And to finish with, on resolve, an example that I couldn't want to fail to mention is like, for a kid who is learning to walk, for how long do you think they are going to try to walk until they are able to walk? You can't look at your kid every day trying to walk and holding chairs and so forth and so forth. And then you're like, you've tried for too long, just stop trying to know how to walk. No. You're going to be like, my kid will try to understand, or he's going to try and practice how to walk until they are able to walk. And you can't tell them that now it's enough, you've tried enough. The same case comes to your dream. The same case comes to what you want to achieve. The same case comes to the best version of yourself that you know exists. That make a decision today that you're going to try. You're going to show up on your life. You're going to keep on pushing. You're going to read those books. You're going to advance those skills. You're going to take those courses that you know you need to take. You're going to put in the hours and the work until you achieve what you want. The word is until. Means there is nothing that is going to make you stop. You're going to put it's a do or die. You're going to do whatever it takes until you achieve what you envision for yourself. And when you have that kind of mindset, and when you have that kind of mental state, and when you approach your life from that perspective, there is nothing, or success is inevitable, or you become unstoppable. Because there is nothing that can come between you and what you want to achieve. So it's all about you disgusted by your current situation and decide to make the decision to change it. And then you have the desire to be the person that you know you can be. And then you make the resolution. So you have the resolve that you're going to do it at all costs, and you're going to do whatever it takes, and you're going to put in the work until you achieve that which you want to achieve. The road is going to be long, but don't focus on that long road. Just focus on the next step. Ask yourself, what thing am I supposed to do where I am right now? The next step towards where I want to go. Thank you very much for sticking up to this point. I really appreciate, and always remember to show up for your life. See you on the next one.